During the Passion Week in the life of Christ, he showed a true compassion and even perhaps a tearful regret for the city of Jerusalem and its leaders. Good morning, I'm Pastor Ernie Lewis of the Blue Point Church in Sisney, Illinois, with your thoughts for Wednesday. After being bombarded by the priests, the Pharisees, and the scribes on his authority to deal with the temple and its inhabitants, Jesus retreated off to the Mount of Olives. After speaking to his disciples there in some parables about the last days and about his return, he retreated to a place where he could be alone, somewhat overlooking Jerusalem there. And he cries out in Matthew 23:37, saying, "O Jerusalem, Jerusalem, thou that killest the prophets and stonest them which are sent unto thee, how often would I have gathered thy children together, even as a hen gathers her chicks under her wings? But you would not." It's interesting that Jesus had experienced nothing but attacks by the religious leaders in this city. Even whenever he went to the temple, he found it was full of merchants who had made his house into what he called a den of vipers, and he drove them out of the place. But now, as he looks out over this ancient city with such a rich history of his people and even monuments to the prophets of the Old Testament, Jesus begins to bare his soul over his feelings for these people who are so misled. He first describes Jerusalem as those who have killed his prophets. Oftentimes in the Bible, whenever God sends a messenger to his people, the message is disregarded. And the messenger is even ill-treated by those who are so-called religious leaders. Jesus himself was one of those who came from God as a messenger, and he is questioned with the aim of tricking him into false answers or accusing him of things. So he says of Jerusalem that they have stoned those who were sent to him. Of course, when we read that, we are reminded of Stephen. The stoning of Stephen is recorded in Acts chapter 7 as he was actually preaching the truth to these people. Even when Stephen had that beautiful vision of heaven at his death, and he told others, the mob still ran at him to try and shut him up when he was preaching about Jesus. So Jesus says, "How often would I have gathered you as that hen does her chicks?" I think this is an example of his love and his compassion to those who are so misled, and now they have become so rebellious. His example even reminds us how we should treat those around us today. Do you know of someone today who perhaps speaks against the church or even against Christianity? Maybe they have even persecuted you and your friends because of their faith in Christ. So how do we respond today to those people that Jesus says, "I would have gathered you as a hen gathers her chicks"? Perhaps like Jesus' disciples, we wish to rain down fire on those who have little faith. That's what the sons of thunder call for. But Jesus is showing a heart of compassion here. Even after being persecuted, he said, "Oh, Jerusalem, Jerusalem." Today we need to show that kind of love and compassion, especially to those today who reject Christ or reject Christians for that matter. We need to show that heart of compassion that says, "Lord, I would draw them in any way possible. Please give me that opportunity."